Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you're a parent or caregiver navigating the incredibly complex world of rare genetic disorders, diving into medical research can honestly feel like trying to read a map in a foreign language. There's just so much clinical jargon out there, and it can be super overwhelming when all you really want is a straight answer to one profound question: are there new options for my child? Well, today, we are going to gently unpack 3 promising clinical trials for rare pediatric diseases. We're going to translate the complex science into plain, everyday language, giving you a clear map of what's on the medical horizon right now. We'll cover what each trial tests, who it's for, what phase it's in, and most importantly, why it actually matters for your family. Here is a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll start with hope for rare diseases. Then we'll cover GS100 for NGLY1 Deficiency, GTX102 for Angelman syndrome, and Salinursin for SMA babies. And finally, we'll zoom out to look at the big picture.
All right. Section 1. Hope for rare diseases, understanding the testing journey. Let's dive right in by figuring out what it actually means when we say a trial is close to the finish line.
So all 3 of the trials we're talking about today are what we call phase 3 trials. And if you're a caregiver, hearing that a drug is in phase 3 is a massive moment of hope. This is literally the final, absolutely crucial step of testing before a new treatment can potentially be approved for wider use. Think of it like this. Before medicine ever gets to this stage, it's already cleared phase 1, which proves it's safe, and phase 2, where they figure out the absolute best dose. So when a trial hits phase 3, researchers already have really solid reasons to believe it works. Now they're just doing one last large-scale test to prove it to the medical community and the regulators. It's the final hurdle before it can reach the families who need it most.
Moving on to Section 2, GS100 for NGLY1 Deficiency, targeting the root. Let's see how this first trial is building hope for children facing NGLY1 deficiency, which is a rare genetic metabolic disorder.
Okay, let's get into the specifics. This trial is testing a gene therapy called GS100, and it's specifically for kids between 2 and 18 years old. Now, if you're looking to join a trial today, the status is super important. Right now, this one is active, not recruiting. What that basically means is the trial is ongoing. They've successfully and safely enrolled 10 patients across 2 different locations, but they aren't taking new kids at this exact moment. Instead, they've hit pause on new entries so they can really focus on carefully monitoring those 10 children to gather those vital long-term results.
And here is why this specific therapy is such a huge deal. Historically, a lot of medicine for rare diseases just focuses on putting a Band-Aid on the daily symptoms, right? You make the child more comfortable, maybe ease their seizures, but you aren't fixing the underlying problem. GS100 is totally different. Because it's a gene therapy, it actively targets the actual genetic root cause of the disease. It aims to alter the entire course of the disorder, not just quiet down its side effects.
Because of that root cause approach, independent medical experts gave this trial a massive 18 out of 20 breakthrough potential score. I mean, wow, that is a highly encouraging number. It basically tells us the scientific community really believes this treatment isn't just a tiny baby step. It's viewed as a potential major leap forward that could make a real, meaningful difference.
All right, Section 3, GTX102 for Angelman syndrome, improving daily life. Let's explore our next major trial, which focuses on Angelman syndrome, a rare neurodevelopmental disorder.
This trial is specifically for patients already diagnosed with Angelman syndrome, and it's testing another gene therapy known as GTX102. What's interesting here is that this is a long-term extension study, meaning they're checking on the safety and effectiveness over a much longer stretch of time. And the scale of this thing is huge. They are evaluating 255 patients across 23 different sites globally. Currently, its status is enrolling by invitation. In plain English, that means doctors running the trial are directly reaching out to eligible patients within their own networks, rather than just taking open applications from the public.
So what's the big goal here? If this trial is successful, we are looking at a brand new option that significantly improves daily symptoms. And you know, for a caregiver, improving symptoms isn't just some clinical milestone. It literally means boosting the overall quality of life for the child. It means easier daily routines, maybe better communication, and honestly, a much greater sense of peace for the whole family.
And the optimism surrounding this one is just as strong. Just like our first trial, GTX102 also rocked a highly encouraging breakthrough potential score of 18 out of 20. Researchers are incredibly confident in the science here, and they're moving swiftly to gather that robust, long-term safety data so they can hopefully get it out to the wider public. On to Section 4. Salinursin for SMA babies, proactive intervention. For our third and final trial today, we're looking at something designed specifically for infants with spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA.
Here are the details. Who is it for? It's tailored for infants who have the genetic markers for SMA but actually haven't shown physical signs of it yet. The treatment is an RNA injection called Salinursin, which basically helps the baby's body produce a crucial protein that SMA babies are missing. And if you're watching this right now, the status is super relevant to you. It is actively recruiting. They are looking for 30 infants across 2 active sites in the United States right now, so there's an open door for eligible families to jump in.
What makes this trial absolutely fascinating is the timing. Traditional medicine usually means waiting for the SMA symptoms to appear before you treat the child, right? You wait for the decline, then you try to hit the brakes. But this trial is entirely proactive. They want to give these babies the injection before a single symptom ever shows up. The profound hope here is that intervening early can stop those debilitating symptoms from developing in the first place.
It probably won't shock you to hear that with such an incredibly proactive approach to protecting babies, this trial also earned a stellar 18 out of 20 breakthrough potential score. It is just a shining example of where modern pediatric medicine is heading right now, anticipating a disease and stopping it right in its tracks.
Finally, Section 5, the big picture, navigating the options. Now that we've mapped out these 3 therapies individually, let's step back for a second and look at how you can actually navigate all this.
To put the whole picture into perspective, if you're caring for a baby with SMA genetic markers, the Salinursin trial is actively recruiting in the US today, which means you can bring this directly to your doctor. If you're in the Angelman syndrome community, that GTX-102 trial is enrolling by invitation, so you'll want to make sure your medical team is plugged into those major clinical networks. And for the NGLY1 Deficiency trial, it's active but currently full, so the main focus there is eagerly waiting for those long-term results to drop.
Ultimately, the main takeaway for caregivers today should be one of profound optimism. Medical science is moving so fast. All 3 of these trials are in that final Phase 3 stage, meaning they are closer to approval than ever before. They aren't just treating symptoms, they are bravely targeting the actual genetic roots of these conditions, and all of them scored incredibly high for breakthrough potential. The entire landscape of what's possible for your children is literally changing right before our eyes.
So I want to leave you with this final thought to reflect on today. As these Phase 3 trials continue to push forward and get closer to that finish line, are we finally entering a new, brighter era of hope for families navigating rare diseases? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those questions, keep advocating for the ones you love, and keep looking forward.